Oh, here we'll have a hilarious clip by Jesse Lee Peterson from his Fallen State YouTube channel. He's talking to some reverend. I actually have not listened to the video besides like the first sentence, and it was like, oh my god, this is hilarious. Um, because it's the way Jesse Lee Peterson always wants to do everything, ask a bunch of loaded and false questions.
Did you know that Black Lives Matter is a far left liberal radical organization that was founded by a bunch of fat black lesbians?
And your point is what now?
Did you know?
I thought that was hilarious. Like, your point is what? Because because Jesse is not making any point when he was asking such a question. Do you know blah 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 blah? It's like, come on, dude. But he's gonna ask the same question again because all he wants to do is wait for the other guy to be like, yeah, that's what I heard.
You know that?
No, what is your point about it?
I want to know first, did you know that? Then I tell you my point. Did you know it was founded by black radical lesbians?
Mm. You know what? I thought it was. I think it doesn't matter what the person's preference is. It matters what the agenda of the organization.
No, I'm
I
first
don't
just trying to
see
find.
why
A
it's
lot of
being.
people didn't know that it was founded by some radical fat black lesbians. I'm asking.
Okay, the reason why he has to constantly say fat black lesbians because it'll make his supporters think, oh, fat black lesbians? That is I don't like those types of people. So that means the movement is obviously bad because Jesse Lee Peterson supporters obviously hate those types of people as well because you wouldn't be listening to Jesse Lee Peterson, somebody who hates those types of people, and not hate them yourself.
You, did you
I don't
know
know.
you
I don't
support the
know
organization? Did you know that it was founded by fat black lesbians?
what difference does it make.
Did you know that?
Well, no. What difference does it make?
First, I want to know that you know it. Then I tell you the difference that it made.
Well, I don't think it matters whether I know that or not, but what difference does it make? The point is, what is the goal of the organization? What have they accomplished and what are they striving to accomplish? To belittle the organization helps nobody, but some people who don't like what they're doing should start something that they like.
But how are you saying that
Even
I'll
if
be?
you want to start White Lives Matter, start what you like, start what you advocate, and be the leader of that in a way that helps all
Are
the
you
people.
saying that I'll be literate by telling you that it was founded by a bunch of fat black lesbians?
Well, he is such a moron, Jesse Lee Peterson. Yes, that's all he's doing at the moment is trying to belittle the group, and the, Reverend is right. He's saying it because it's gonna trigger some of the people that listens to Jesse and think that the movement is bad because the only good people according to Jesse are skinny, white, uh, heterosexual Christians.
Yeah, because I don't see why that, because I have no clue why that would be relevant to this conversation.
Because you're a man of God and you wouldn't want to follow some fat black lesbians who are they're not
No,
of God, right?
now you're speaking for me.
Would you want to follow those type of women?
I wouldn't allow anybody to speak for me. I follow anybody doing the right thing for the right reason.
So you think these fat black lesbians are doing the right thing for the right reason?
I'm not a judge. I wasn't made a judge.
Do you
God
believe?
Wow. And this is Jesse's tactic. I'm not sure why people actually go on to his show to talk to him. If they're like not looking to actually debate him and plan on doing a good debate and knows his tactics. Because he's just going to keep asking the same question until he gets the questions that he wants so that he can go on with the script that he has created.
Believe that they're doing the right thing?
God didn't make me a judge.
God didn't make little green apples either, and He didn't make it rain in the summertime, but we have it. Would you support?
Wait, God didn't make little green apples, nor did He made it rain during the summertime? I mean, if you believe God created everything, then yes, you would believe that God made it rain during the summertime when it rains during the summertime, as well as little green apples, i.e. crab apples.
I don't think you could have little green apples. Although
he didn't make it rain in Indianapolis in the summertime, but we have it.
I see what I understand, but I thought you were having a serious dialogue.
I am. But what I'm trying to find out, if you had known that it was organized by, since I don't know if you knew or not, but now that you know it was founded by some fat black lesbians, radical blacks, would you, and being a reverend, would you still support them knowing how they were founded and that it was radical black lesbians? Would you still support it had you known?
Man, I wonder if, well, no, I don't really need to wonder if these people were white Christians and heterosexual. Jesse Lee Peterson would definitely not be asking such questions about a movement that he thought was okay. This shows, every video that I post about Jesse, it all shows his racism. You just gotta listen to what he says. Fat, black, lesbian. Those are the only three words he's using to describe the founders of Black Lives Matter. He is trying to fat shame them for being fat, which it's no big deal. Black, it shows that he really hates black people, because why would being a black person be a problem for starting a movement? And lesbian, well, because the radical alt-right Christian conservatives hates homosexuality so much. Jesse knows that if he keeps calling them homosexuals, it will get his base to be like, oh yeah, these people are bad because they're homosexual, not because of any other legit concerns. But he wants his base to hate Black Lives Matter because the founders were 1, fat, 2, black, and 3, homosexual. This is basically conservatives for you, boiled down. Because Jesse Lee Peterson is a conservative who is just who doesn't really care about being racist or not, being bigoted or not, because that's how conservative people truly are. And the fact that Jesse will not face any consequences for any of his words that he says, because he'll never get canceled. He knows he can just, pretty much say whatever he wants, no matter what it is, and he'll have people that will follow him and give him money for it.
I don't see that that's relevant. I think I've answered that already.
You are reverend, you shouldn't follow evil, right?
Are you saying they're evil because of their preference?
No, because of their...
I don't believe that.
Because of their purpose.
Well, what is their purpose?
It's to destroy and not to build.
Their purpose is to destroy and not to build. That's why they're evil. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever, because even in the Bible, there's a lot of destruction going on, and none of those people are considered evil for it. But uh, I know what Jesse is talking about. What he fears being destroyed, and that is the system that is set up at the moment that benefits certain people and subjugates other people. Uh, he's black, but he is a white supremacist. He supports everything about white supremacy. Supports Donald Trump, who is a known white power nationalist supporter. And if you listen to Jesse, you can hear the hatred about black people, women, homosexuals, anything that doesn't conform along the lines of what the white heterosexual Christian males uh, that are in power, what they basically speak for. That is what Jesse Lee Peterson wants. That's why anytime you hear him talking about black people, it's always something bad about black people. Unless it's somebody that is also conservative, then he has nothing but praise for them.
But I'm not familiar with that particular Black Lives Matter organization.
You have been seeing what's going on around the country lately? You have been noticing what's going on?
That's what you wanted to do here today. But I think that's not reaching the higher level of potential of this conversation. It doesn't matter to me who started. What matters is what is the agenda and what can I do to support positive agendas that are on the behalf of all of the people of America and the world. That's my goal.
What do you think about?
I'm not interested in judging people, whether they are white or black.
What do you think? When you didn't say you want to support a white organization, you are judging the white white lives matter, but you are not judging the Black Lives Matter.
I think you and I have the opportunity to support wherever we can, wherever we will.
But I would never support evil, not knowingly.
Okay.
What do you think about? What do you think about in America today? White people are kneeling to these radical blacks. They're washing their feet, and they're running around saying Black Lives Matter. The whites are being so weak with the blacks. What do you think about that?
I've not seen that.
The whites are being weak with the blacks, kneeling in protest support. I have no idea what he's talking about by washing their feet. That's probably not happening. It's crazy how he sees supporting racial equality as weakness. But this is something that conservative people believe. That racial equality is weakness, and that the only way for white conservatives to stay strong is if they segregate themselves and subjugate black people.
You've not seen the whites kneeling to the blacks?
I have not seen that.
You have seen no whites kneeling to blacks?
No.
You haven't seen the...
Because no white people are kneeling to blacks. It's there are white people that are kneeling in support of what is going on, and kneeling is just a sign of support. But with how crazy Jesse Lee Peterson is, he wants to make it seem like black people are subjugating white people and forcing them to do things. And it's not even what is happening.
Cops kneeling to the blacks?
No.
You haven't seen the Army Reserve, the National Reserve guards kneeling to the blacks either?
Your questions are general and sweeping. Now, if you want to get specific, then I can answer you.
Okay, I'll be more specific.
But
what do you think about the whites who are kneeling to the blacks?
And how and when and where have you seen a white kneeling to a black?
It's all over the news. Turn your TV on right now, you'll see it. It's
Okay,
everywhere. I can't believe you
have
haven't seen it.
that?
If it's
Still, Jesse Lee Peterson has not proven anything. What he likes to do a lot is just make a bunch of baseless claims, and then when people either call him out for his lies or that, what is happening is not even happening, he will either keep repeating the question or make it seem like the other person is lying because they're not surrendering to his bullshit. Again, he wants to try to say that white people are kneeling to black people, but that's not what is happening. Uh, Kneeling at the moment is being shown as a sign of support for what Black Lives Matter stands for, and it's not like some kind of worship of black people.
it's true, what do you think about that? What do you think about that?
Specificity.
Maybe you haven't seen it, but if it's true, what do you think about that?
I have given it no thought.
Amazing.
This is the reason that you would ask me a question. You would toy with something so significant in this country with all that's going on, with people putting their lives and their health on the line, that you would toy with an opportunity to be a voice to America and trivialize this conversation, which you could be talking about something a lot more meaningful and helpful for all of the people. It doesn't matter if they're black or whatever size they are. I just think, though, if you want to be power, you want to be a voice, be it with virtue, with prudence, with wisdom.
What do you think about the blacks burning
You
down?
over here to take 45 minutes of my time, and yet you don't take it seriously.
What do you think about?
Wow. Just like typical Jesse Lee Peterson, he ignores everything the person says so he can continue on with his script and try to get the answers that he's looking for and not to have an actual discussion. But the Reverend is right. Jesse Lee Peterson, the only thing he's doing is wasting his time trying to find people that will agree with what Jesse is saying so that they can denigrate black people even further. And I'm happy that the Reverend is not taking any of his bullshit to heart.
The blacks that are burning down and destroying other people's property.
I resent that because there's no evidence that it was all blacks doing that. And why you would bring that up in that fashion says to me that you're looking for the destruction of the black community. I'm not going to destroy any community. I'm a pastor of all the people.
Oh, that is so true. Jesse Lee Peterson is one of the people looking to destroy the black communities even further than what is going on, which is why he gets onto his show and says the things that he does. He is part of the people that seek to oppress others.
I want to help all the people.
Do you love white people?
Wow. I'm surprised he didn't go in. Oh, well, I guess because he's going to try to make this guy look like a racist, which is why Jesse Lee Peterson goes in and asks, do you love such and such ethnic group or skin-toned group? Like if he's talking to white people, he'll ask them, do you love black people? And since it's a black reverend, he's asking him, do you love white people? And if the guy says yes, he's probably going to ask, oh, then why are you letting, Black Lives Matter do blah, blah, blah? Let's see what Jesse Lee Peterson is going to say.
I think about 35 minutes ago, you asked me that in a different way. I love all the people.
Do you love white people?
I love the earth. And when I see the earth being contaminated with plastic and paper and waste, and when I see it dumped, and our environment being destroyed, and water, our clean water being evaporated with filth and garbage. I love the earth.
Pastor
I
Rumph,
love the people. And
do you love white people?
When I look at this world, the advantage and the disadvantage, the marginalized, when I look at poverty and homelessness, you ask me, do I love all people? I would like to see a world where greed does not impoverish people. I'd like to see a world where people have really equal opportunities at education, at economics. If you got 50,000 people, you got 30,000 people in mid-March that couldn't even get their employment check and were waiting on stimulus. I think that's the kind of stuff you ought to be working on. If you got people marching in the street, 20,000 people,
Pastor Rumph, because of time,
people, little children, whites and blacks talking about a better America, to me that's important, and that's the role of the church. The role of the church from the 60s and from its existence in the first century is the same as today, making the world better.
Pastor Rumph, do you love white people?
I love all people.
How about white?
White, green, yellow, orange, brown.
How about white people? Do you love white people?
Wow. Even though he'll keep giving him an answer, it's not the exact answer that Jesse Lee Peterson wants, so he'll repeatedly ask it over and over. He's kind of a broken record at times.
I love all people.
How about white people?
If whites are included in all, yes.
I'm only asking about white people. Do you love white people?
If whites are included in all, yes.
But they're not included in all. I'm asking you, do you love white people?
Okay.
Do you love white people?
I love all people. White, black, green, orange, yellow, whatever colors we have.
Do you love the Jews?
I love everybody.
How about the Jews?
Why you ask me that?
I just want to know, do you love the Jews?
Man, and he just gets more racist the more he talks. You love white people? Blah, blah, blah. Now, do you love the Jews? It's like, God, everybody has to do this. It's always about the Jews, and people gotta, it's like, I mean, the Jewish group is not a monolithic group of people, just like the black group aren't a monolithic group of people. It's why, you have, people that will vote against their own self-interest and be against their own self-interest, like people like Jesse Lee Peterson. It just, it's kind of wild how racist this guy is, but how big of a following he has, and how long he's been on.
This is the kind of way that America gets separated.
What do you mean?
Well, because we don't want to be inclusive. We want to remain where we can raise our objections to everybody, and it's based on race, creed, or color. That is so unnecessary, so harmful to the nation. One of the things that's true is, if you're going to get past racism, you got to stop you got to get up and start doing something about it, and start with our building our relationship. People do pretty well one-on-one, but when we group out and separate, we don't do so well.
So you can't tell me if you love the Jews or not?
I love everybody.
How about the Jews?
Whites. I love whites. I love Jews. I love blacks. I love Asians. I love Hispanics, Mexican. I love French, Germans, everybody.
Do you love the Great White Hope?
Okay, are we done?
Almost. Do you love the Great White Hope?
I'm not going to answer that.
You love the president?
If you don't have anything else you want to talk about, then
I do, but let me ask one more time, because I'm black and slow. Do you love president?
You can't ask me nothing serious.
Wow, I'm gonna ask you that again because I'm black and slow. See, just that comment right there does show, because he wants his audience to, remember that black people are inherently stupid. So that this isn't the first time he's told people to either repeat themselves or that he's going to repeat himself or whatever. Because and saying that he's black and slow. It's rather disgusting the way this person is, and it's like it's hard to actually fathom that people like him actually exist.
Let me go.
Do you love President
for some reason?
Do you love President Trump?
Do you love President Trump?
I absolutely do. Yes. How about you?
Okay, I love everybody.
How about the president? How about the president?
Okay, thank you so much.
Reverend Rob, hold on. Let me ask you this. These people want to defund the police departments. They want to get rid of the cops, defund them. Are you for that?
Is that your interpretation of defund the police? Is that your interpretation of what that really means?
Yes. Are you for defunding the police departments?
What is meant by defunded? I think you
take
have to
away the money. In Los Angeles, the mayor is taking away $150 million from the police department. Are you in support of doing that kind of stuff?
I think I'm in favor of diversing the funds in America so that all of the entities, so that we can do something about poverty, so we can do something about the economy and health care, so we can do something about homelessness. And I don't think you should put all the money into any one category, but I do think you got to have a police department.
Are you in support of defunding the police departments?
Wow, he just answered, and he's going to ask again, and probably a few more times.
I'm in favor of funding the departments in the city and in the country. I'm in favor of funds that speak to the needs of the people.
Are you in support of defunding the police departments?
I don't know that I'm in favor of defunding. I think that I'm in favor of sharing the wealth.
Wow. That was the that's the famous Uncle Ruckus being as racist as always. But I found it hilarious, the Reverend's, the way the Reverend handled himself with, Jesse. A lot of times just sitting there quietly, making Jesse look awkward and, moronic with his, baseless and loaded questions. If you guys enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, comment on what you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.